Can AI truly understand our emotions? The truth about artificial intelligence and human feelings? The big question, can machines feel? Imagine looking into the eyes of a machine and wondering, does it really understand what I'm feeling? What once seemed like science fiction is now a real challenge for scientists, philosophers, and even psychologists. AI can already talk, respond, detect emotions and voices, facial expressions, and even text. But is that truly understanding, or just recognizing patterns? In this video, we'll embark on a fascinating journey to uncover whether machines can actually grasp the complexity of human emotions and what that means for our future. What are human emotions? Complexity of feelings. Before asking whether AI can understand emotions, we need to understand what emotions actually are. They're not simple. Emotions are a complex blend of chemical, neurological, social, and cultural responses. Love, anger, sadness, empathy, all arise from a combination of past experiences, biology, and context. Emotions aren't just reactions. They're interpretations. When you feel fear, it's not just a racing heart. It's your brain assigning meaning to a possible threat. Can AI reach that level of depth? How does AI recognize emotions today? AI today can identify human emotions based on biometric data. Facial expressions, tone of voice, choice of words, and even physiological patterns are analyzed by algorithms. Facial recognition software, for example, can detect sadness, happiness, or anger with up to 90% accuracy in some cases. But here's the question. Does recognizing an expression truly mean understanding what it signifies in that specific context? Is a difference between recognizing and understanding? Recognition is not the same as comprehension. Imagine someone smiling. It could signal joy, sarcasm, embarrassment, or even hidden pain. Humans are masters at masking emotions, using context, empathy, and experience to decode them. AI, however, relies on statistical patterns. It knows that 80% of the time, that type of smile indicates happiness. But what about the other 20%? Can it detect irony? Can it sense sadness behind the mask? This remains one of AI's biggest limitations. It's the technological backbone. Machine learning and deep learning, AI, relies on two main foundations to decode emotions: machine learning and deep learning. With billions of data points, photos, audio, videos, texts, machines learn to associate expressions, sounds, and words with emotional states. The more data, the better the accuracy. Still, there's an invisible barrier: the lack of consciousness. An AI can learn that a trembling voice often signals fear, but it doesn't feel that fear. Emotional AI. Where are we today? Companies like Microsoft, IBM, and Effectiva are heavily investing in emotional AI. There are already cars that monitor a driver's mood, virtual assistants that adjust their tone based on your emotional state, and caregiving robots that detect when elderly users are sad. Despite these advances, everything is still limited to detecting external cues. No AI has yet demonstrated a genuine understanding of what it means to experience an emotion. Simulated emotions. When AI pretends to feel, perhaps the most unsettling aspect is that AI can pretend to feel emotions. Social robots, like the famous Sophia, smile, blink, and display empathy. But it's all a carefully programmed simulation. AI doesn't feel sadness or joy. It simply runs algorithms that mimic human behavior. This creates a paradox. If an AI appears to feel, is that good enough for us? The philosophy of artificial consciousness. This leads us into a deep philosophical debate. Does understanding emotions require consciousness? Philosophers like Thomas Nagel question whether a machine that has never had a subjective experience could ever truly understand a feeling. Can AI comprehend something it has never experienced itself? This remains one of the biggest dilemmas in the philosophy of mind as it applies to AI's limitations. Context, culture, and subjectivity. A joke that makes someone laugh in Brazil might be offensive in Japan. A tear can mean sadness or relief. AI struggles to navigate the murky waters of human subjectivity. Its training depends on massive datasets. But those datasets don't always capture the subtle cultural, social, and personal contexts that shape our emotions. AI and empathy. Can machines be empathetic? Empathy goes beyond recognizing an emotion. It's the ability to step into someone else's shoes, to share a subjective experience. To this day, no AI has demonstrated true empathy. It can simulate empathetic responses. I'm sorry you were going through this, but that S programming, it's not genuine feeling. And here S, a troubling question. Will we humans accept simulated empathy as if it were real? Practical applications, where emotional AI is being used. Despite its limitations, emotional AI is already transforming industries like mental health, customer service, education, and marketing. Chatbots that detect frustration can escalate calls to human agents. Educational platforms adjust pacing if they detect a student is bored or confused. In hospitals, AI helps identify signs of depression in patients. But how far are we willing to let it go? The benefits of emotional AI when used responsibly? Emotional AI can be revolutionary. Imagine a virtual assistant that notices when you're overwhelmed and suggests a break. Or an educational system that detects your anxiety before a test and adjusts the materials accordingly. AI can help reduce social isolation, aid in diagnosing mental health issues, and even save lives. But with great power comes great responsibility. It's the risks. Manipulation, privacy, and dehumanization on the flip side. The risks are alarming. Companies could use emotional AI to manipulate your feelings, encouraging purchases, or keeping you addicted to social media. Governments might deploy it for emotional surveillance. There is also the danger of dehumanization. If we start trusting the simulated responses of machines more than authentic human interactions, what kind of society are we building? Ethical concerns. Where do we draw the line? Should we allow machines to read our emotions? Who controls this data? What happens if an AI misinterprets a feeling and causes harm? Who is responsible? The ethical discussions are only beginning, and it's urgent for society, governments, and corporations to set clear boundaries for the use of emotional AI. The future, could AI one day truly feel? Could an AI in the future develop some form of consciousness? Some scientists believe that, with enough complexity, it might be possible to simulate a mind so sophisticated that it even believes it's feeling. Others argue that's impossible because AI lacks a biological body, a life history, and subjective experience. What's certain is that this debate will shape the future of technology and humanity. The mirror of emotions, does AI reflect or understand? In the end, perhaps the real question isn't whether AI can understand human emotions, but whether we are ready to live with machines that appear to understand. Will we accept simulated empathy? Can we trust a virtual therapist that reads our facial expressions? Or do we still value the human touch, the glance, the silence that sometimes speaks louder than words? The answer might reveal more about us than about the machines themselves.